Hey there everyone, what's up? I'm here to talk about something that I don't think enough people talk about actually, and that's the console wars. Now, the console wars are nothing new and they've been going on for generation after generation after generation. And while they've sort of always been a part of gaming culture, since the start of gaming actually, it sort of didn't pick up full swing until the early 90s. I almost wanted to say the mid 90s. But early 90s is more accurate actually. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it sort of led to the fanboyish cult personality that a lot of gamers seem to have these days. And, okay, myself kind of included, to an extent. While I won't praise my favorite game developer, Nintendo, as the be-all, end-all of gaming, they're not like, some sort of demigod amongst every other developer, even if I do think that every other developer could probably learn a thing or two about making actual good games from Nintendo. I don't seem to hold them on as high a pedestal as other Nintendo fans. I'll admit they do have some flaws, they do have their hiccups here and there. Skyward Sword! I mean, what? But I do think that there's a bit of it's kind of stupid for fanboys of consoles to exist. And it all kind of started with Sega's Genesis does what Nintendo don't advertisements, which at the time were kind of cool and I liked them, and my brothers were like, oh, they're kind of stupid, and I was like, oh yeah, they are, but they're good advertisements. I think I was like part of the last generation that got to experience that, actually, like those advertisements. I don't think too many people my age got to actually see those on TV. I didn't see them for very long. I was like 3 with the last one I saw on TV. But that's sort of how the console wars kicked off. Like, okay, they were kind of at each other with the Nintendo and the Master System, but who gave a fuck about the Master System? It was shit. Way to go against what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that console wars are needless. We don't need them anymore. Leave them behind in the past. And this is something that should go without saying, that console wars are utter bullshit. Everyone's like, oh, but the PS4's got like 20 kajillion gigabytes of GDDR, not over 9,000 RAM. That's great. If you want to play the spec game, get a PC. Don't play consoles. Get a PC if you want to play the hardware game. If you want to play the game, I guess, then get a console. There's tons of games on console that will never be on PCs, and they'll never touch a PC's CD-ROM drive, or they'll never be on Steam or Origin or anything like that. They're going to be only on consoles. So there's that. It's the idea of arguing over whose hardware is better. Well, it's all a matter of opinion. While I personally love Nintendo, I won't lie that the Wii U is okay. The console so far, from what I've experienced of it, is pretty awesome actually. I haven't played a game on it yet that I didn't enjoy. But aside from Darksiders 2, which was kind of like bleh, but I didn't play that on the Wii U. I did play that on the Wii U, but I didn't play it first on the Wii U. I thought it was really, really bad, but getting off topic here. The main point is that we don't need these console wars anymore. They're not being, like, with the Genesis does what Nintendo don't advertisements, that was just Sega advertising the Genesis. They weren't like, oh hey, we're this much better. Well, okay, they were, but they were like, oh, well, here's an advertisement, and Nintendo, fuck you. That was their thing. And I think a lot of people seem to blow the whole console thing a little out of proportion. It doesn't matter what piece of plastic with circuits you play. Like, I can't even talk to some people about actual good games. I have a friend, I can't even talk to him about fucking Super Mario 3D World. He's like, nope, Nintendo's for kids. It's a good game. Who the fuck cares if it's for kids? Are you gonna diss Wreck-It Ralph because it's a great movie and it's also a family-friendly movie? Like, are you going to hold that same bias you have for games, for movies and books and stuff like that? Like, I think that whole idea of, oh, this is for kids, or this is for dude bros, or this is for idiots. I think that is kind of a stupid thing for gamers to do. And I believe if it doesn't have, like, if it's not based off of a pre-existing, like, license, like a TV show or a movie, then it's meant mostly for everyone, not just for kids. I really do think it's really stupid to brand something as for kids, unless it's by 4 kids, then fuck it. But actually, you know what? Going back on that, I'll agree with them with Kirby, but that's like an entry level platformer. If you want to get used to 2D side scrollers, you're not gonna start off with fucking Donkey Kong Country. That shit gets really hard really fast, especially Donkey Kong Country Returns. Seriously, do not hand that shit to your 6-year-old. It's fucking hard. You will end up with a broken Wii remote, a broken TV, and probably a broken 3DS, depending if you have it for that. Kirby is what's for kids, but the other stuff, not so much. Now, it's bad when the fans are in on it, but what gets even worse is when the companies are in on it. And it really makes me ashamed to have actually bought some of their games. Stuff like, well, okay, EA. Well, that was a huge load right there. Electronic Arts is currently doing a Nintendo boycott. Now, the rumor is that it's simply because Nintendo said, well, we want to do our own online network. We want to do what Sony and Microsoft are doing, and we want to become better with online infrastructure. And the rumor is that EA wanted to fully control everything, and I feel I've gone in the wrong direction. But the rumor is that EA wanted to control everything, and everything would be hooked up to Origin and all that stuff, and EA would pretty much own Nintendo Network and stuff like that. That's the rumor, at least. Do I believe it? I wouldn't put it past EA. EA is the kind of guys who, if they can make a quick... Oh, wow, that was quick. If they can make a quick buck, they will. I have a feeling that most of the higher-up executives at Electronic Arts would probably kill their own mother if it made them $1. And that's not like an understatement or anything. Oh wow, these controls. Goes to show how long it's been since I've actually played Mega Man Legends. Give me fucking Jello cubes. Where the fuck you going? Retreat. But anyways, the whole thing is that EA is boycotting Nintendo because, well, Nintendo apparently snuffed them. Now that wouldn't be an issue, but everyone's like, well, our games don't sell on Nintendo platforms, so we're not gonna put them on there. here's the issue. EA tried. What did they do? They released the third Mass Effect game. An entry in a series I don't care for, by the way. I really don't like BioWare's games. I was actually surprised that they managed to make a Sonic game worse than Sega could have ever hoped. That is just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You out Sonic 06 Sonic 06. But the point is that they released the third Mass Effect on the Wii U and said, well, here you go, guys. Here's a final entry in a story-driven series where the choices you make in the first two games actually impact what happens in this one. But you don't get those two games. Instead, we're going to release those two games on every other platform with the third one on one disc and sell them for roughly the same price. Now, everyone's like, that is pretty much the dumbest thing you could ever do. And then with Call of Duty, they made it so the Wii U doesn't get the DLC. And same thing with Assassin's Creed 4. 3 got the DLC though, which was weird. And I think a bit more recently, actually, Assassin's Creed 4 came out more recently, but was Arkham Origins. Now, I love the Arkham series. Arkham City is my absolute favorite game on the PlayStation 3, and Origins is the best game I've purchased off Steam by far. It's a great game. I love it. It's just really fun, and you know what? I like the multiplayer, actually. I really like the multiplayer. I didn't think I would because I don't like multiplayer games. I don't like online multiplayer, at least. Local is good. Local is really good. I hate online in general. But the online was removed from the Wii U version because who fucking knows? And then the Wii U version doesn't sell well, and they're like, oh, well, our games don't sell on Nintendo platforms. You self-fulfilling prophetic piece of shit is all I have to say to that. You removed a feature that you knew people would enjoy, regardless on what platform, and then you have the gall to go and say, oh, well, we tried. No, you didn't try. You put a half-assed attempt in... No, you pulled a no-ass effort. No ass. There was no ass involved. It's like Miley Cyrus. There is no ass. And you put a rushed job port onto a console and you expected it to sell. I can't even emphasize how stupid that is. And okay, one example of a Wii U port done really well is Need for Speed. It's Most Wanted, by the way. It was Need for Speed Most Wanted. And it looks better than every other version, minus the PC version. It has more features. It runs smoother, actually. It runs much smoother. And it's an amazing port, and it's a shame it didn't sell well because that's something that people should be buying. We want third parties to know we want your games. But what we don't want is stripped features. We don't want shit gameplay mechanics thrown in it. If you can't figure out what to do with the gamepad, use the Pro Controller. It's there for a reason. For racing games, oh, you don't have analog triggers. That's what the right analog stick is for. It couldn't be that hard to map it to that. I actually think the right analog stick is better for accelerating. Now, another thing is that EA's not the only one. At least not that I can think of. Activision's sort of been a little dicky about it, but they're not so bad. They've at least supported it with Call of Duty, and Amazing Spider-Man 2 is coming out soon for it. And that actually looks really good, by the way. I didn't like the first one, but this one looks a bit better, actually. I'm really excited for it. And they've been doing a good job. But you know what would be better? You know what might actually move Wii U units? Destiny. Yeah, Destiny would probably move a few units. Now, not Destiny on its own, but maybe package it with like a Samus costume. I guess we're kind of suckers for exclusive content. I mean, that's the only reason why Soul Calibur 2 sold so well.
That might take a while.
Just sort of skip that. And I really think it's bad enough when the gamers get involved. It's even worse when the developers do. It's really annoying. It hurts the gaming public, the gaming group, the gaming demographic, the gaming population. We're hurt by that. So people just need to sort of stop with the whole fanboyism shit. It's not doing you any favors. It's not making you seem any smarter. When you're on GameFAQs and you're like, herpa-derpa-derp, it's the Wii U is underpowered because herpa-derp, that doesn't make you seem like you know shit about what you're talking about. If you want powerful hardware, you go and buy a PC. You don't have a console. I buy consoles because I want the best games. I don't really care how they look. If they look good, fine. Fine. If they look good, cool. But really, that doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter how the games look. It matters how they play. And that's really what I'm in for. I will buy games on PC as well. I do like my playing PC sometimes. Oh man, where the fuck am I going? It's been so long since I've actually played Mega Man Legends. Actually, this is actually my very first time ever playing Mega Man Legends because I had an N64 growing up. So I didn't actually get to experience this in all its D-paddy glory. My god, this thing controls like ass. Oh my god, I ought to have like an aneurysm. Tron, the fuck you doing over here? Get back in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But the whole console war thing is stupid. It's unnecessary. I've been saying this over and over again, hoping that some people might get it in their mind. A lot of people, everyone's like, oh, the PS4 is so powerful, and the Xbox One is kind of there, and oh, the Wii U is like an 8-year-old trying to bench press 340. In reality, the difference between the Wii U, the PS4, and the Xbox One is pretty much the same difference between the Xbox, the GameCube, and the PS2. And really, that's not that big of a difference. Mega Man, you poor bastard. So, it's not that big of a difference. I'm fairly certain that if it can run on the PS4, it can be visually, graphically dumbed down to run on the Wii U. It should be perfectly fine. That's in theory, though. So don't quote me on that. That's purely in theory. I mean, my PC has about 4 gigabytes of RAM. There we go. 4 gigabytes of RAM. And I managed to run Tomb Raider on medium settings. That's not too bad. All you'd have to do is drop it down to that. I think the moment we can put our controllers down and just not care about what the color of someone's skin or what console they play is, wow, that escalated quickly, eh? The whole race card, wow, no one was expecting that. But I honestly do think that hating someone for their console of choice is actually just as stupid as hating someone, actually even more stupid than hating someone for their skin color. Because fuck the blue people. fuck the Smurfs. Fuck them, the little Smurf assholes. But the point is if we could all just get along and try to be civil and not try to rip each other's larynxes out just over the fact that some people might enjoy Super Metroid more than they do Halo 3. Or maybe they like PlayStation All-Stars over Super Smash Bros. Melee. Bitch, do you know who I am? I am the goddamn Mega Man. You will respect my Mega Man authority. I guess. But anyways, bottom line, game console wars are bullshit. I've been repeating the same line for 5 minutes now, and I'm going to cut this off here because I want to, and because I don't want it to go on for years and years and years and years and years. So this is the VGViking. I'm signing off for now. Sorry about the derpy schedule. It's been kind of hectic lately, and it's about 20 degrees below Canada outside. So I'll see you guys next time. Till then, farewell.